We have a $358,688.12 reduction today. Right?
Yeah, I totaled it, 734,400. We're at a 2.99% increase just for operating.
Under three. We started at 6.
All right, we had 409,712 yesterday, or last week. See, it seems like we never left. We have 358,688.12 today. So that's a $768,412 reduction.
734,400.
I need a motion from the board to extend this meeting to 10 o'clock. Discussion? In favor? Opposed? Abstaining?
I'll abstain. I guess. You awake over there?
If we don't extend the meeting, we have to meet Friday or Monday. Those are our options.
Say that again?
If we don't extend the meeting, we have to meet Friday night or Monday. Right, no, I just saying that's the,
The budget book has to be into the mayor's hands.
we just extended the meeting.
Okay.
That's just an explanation. All right, you only had how much for today? We had an addition of 91,990 for sports.
Well, no, 43,140. 43. And then a subtraction of 43. And that was 43,140.
That was 43,146.
I just did added in, subtracted out. We added in 91,990.
Yeah.
We subtracted out 48,000. I already know what my problem
844.
is.
843.
I know what the problem is. Someone sent me a protected spreadsheet instead of sending me an open one, and it will not let me automatically enter. Nope, I still have the same. All right, and then we had an insurance savings of $391,998.
Yes.
We had an CABE reduction of $15,000.
Yes.
We had an instrument cut of $34,000.
Oh. Oh, no, that's in capital though.
Oh, that's a capital cut?
Yeah.
All right, you're right. There we go, see? I gotta move that out. Okay. But I still don't update this. Sheet. I'm not gonna mention anything else. Same person that did it last. So 324. All right, you have 324,688 for today?
Mm-hmm.
So 734, 412. All right, which is a what, 299?
Yep.
Okay.
So you're adding 734.
We are subtracting $734,412 from the superintendent's proposed $70,849,447. So our new operating proposal is
With the additions and the deletions.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
We are now an operating budget of $70,115,076.88.
Well, you reduced by 1%. Well, 700,000 was 1%.
71907 157, is that what you said?
I said 701150768. I started at 70,849,447,
Yep.
and I subtracted 734,400 out.
Yeah, but you also got to
412.
subtract out the technology equipment that we moved to capital of 323,280. We did that last week.
Okay.
69,755.
The 324,688. 323,280, right?
Yep.
So you're at 69,791, 796.88.
I have 755.
What? 71,907,157.
Now,
All right. We take 70,849,000.
Mm-hmm.
447, yeah.
Yep, minus 323,280 for tech equipment into capital.
Yeah.
And then minus 734,400 for all the cuts we did last week and this week.
412.
Okay, I have 400, but that's, are you, I'm at,
734,412 cents.
okay.
412.88 cents.
88.
734, 412, and 88 cents.
$71,907,000.
No, last week was 409,712
Yeah.
and 324,688. You can't have 12 cents left. You gotta be at even 400.
69,791, 755.
But all day K is 39,163.
Yes,
88 cents.
yes, but you, what do you have, 734?
So we'll take it 39,164 then.
No, you can leave the 88 cents.
69,791,785. That you have, Ellen?
755.
Okay. Yeah, we're all on the same page.
You have what for number, 69791?
69,791, 755.
Do we have the 39 on all day, Kenny?
Yep. Okay.
But it's not 734,412.
That isn't what we cut today?
No, you have 409,712.
Yep.
Today you cut 324,688. So 688 and 712 cannot end as 412. Because 8 and 2 is 10, and 8 and 1 is 9, plus 1 is
I have,
10.
it's 734,400.
Right,
That's what we cut, yes, last
Right.
week and this week,
Exactly.
yeah.
they have 412, that's what I'm trying to.
Okay, well, we
No.
got
Figure
rid
it.
of the $12. I mean,
It's 734 what?
400,
Just 400.
and then 323,8, right? So what do you have remaining?
Total operating is 69,791,797. 79.
we'll agree
That's
to
the
be
number
off-
I have.
We'll agree to be off the $12.
No, that's the number I have. We got it. All right. We need to move on to capital. All right, we had, capital got handed out when we got here. Dave, you want to get involved?
Yeah, we'll get involved.
I know you don't want to get involved. I'd rather not get involved.
You wish you brought it to.
I did.
It sits on my desk.
Series of
Occasionally I'll have a sip.
That was odd, by the
I just don't do
way. I understand.
And I can't drink anything else.
Start in the present year, or do you want to,
Well, let's start with present year.
14, 15?
Yes.
Okay. want to review all of it, as far as every item that's on there?
Well, if we look at what was given us in our book originally,
Yep.
we had 71,218,133 for each school.
Right.
We agreed last week to move that out a year to the 15-16 year. And if you look at the new handouts, that's 41,213,643.
Yes.
So that just got pushed out a year with a little more realistic number, giving us time to approve the ed specs and the
Right.
blueprint.
While you're looking at that, it was brought up last week, whether or not we should be putting portable classroom pricing in there.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to pass this out. This is East School portable classroom alternate. And what it's going to give you is, it's going to give you 2 years of a lease price and what the state reimbursement will allow us to take on that number. How did I do that? I don't have one.
Joe's nice and short.
Okay. So I did not put the $2,061,000 into there. We kind of brainstormed it with the business manager, myself, and came up with an alternate. That's something that it doesn't have to be decided on tonight, but we just wanted to throw the seed out there, possibly. It's the fact that if we took our present high school now, and we brought middle school 8th grade to this high school, that would allow us to empty the entire lower level at the middle school, which would possibly give us the opportunity to move all of East School, except for the kindergarten, to the middle school in an isolated area, which would be the lower level of the interior building. It's just something to think about, and it would cost us approximately what I have in there, $96,690. That would be on the next page. Of your capital plan. When you open up your capital plan, you'll see that on East School.
Where did you put that? Okay.
It's up on the top. That $96,000 would incorporate, mostly it's moving expenses. So it's something that we don't have to decide on tonight. I just wanted to throw that seed out there, possibly to look at a way that we can help defer a couple $1 million out of the cost of moving East School.
That would mean busing then.
Busing would almost be, I'll have Danielle answer to
First grade
that.
through 5th grade would be on the bus with,
No, we were thinking that we would take everything that's happening at East right now, their bus run and everything, and just bring them right to the middle school instead of
but
dropping
it's
them
different
at
times.
East.
But
Right, right.
Don't
Okay.
we have age restrictions per school? You can't put certain age kids with certain age kids?
That I'm not sure.
No,
If you bus,
You have, a lot of your magnet schools now are K-8.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a magnet school. is
Anything
ours.
goes, there's K-12
I wasn't looking at that, I was looking at the middle school kids with the high school kids, because
of the 8th.
this came up under
Eighth grade?
Mr. Leone, but we weren't able to move, because originally, there was a concept of closing one of the elementary schools.
Right.
Moving 5th grade to the middle school and 8th grade to here. But that got shot down because you would have 19-year-olds with 12-year-olds, and there was an age problem there.
Thomaston High School
Yeah.
is a 7-12 school.
the issue was
Litchfield
with an
High School,
outcry of transportation. That was the issue, putting them on the same bus.
So they can live in the same families, they just can't ride in the same bus.
Right.
I
Perfect
guess that
sense.
makes sense to someone in Hartford.
But once again, we don't have to make that decision tonight. We can, but if we look at it now ahead of time, we've got a few, almost a year to kind of collaborate it out and not think about disrupting the entire district by building 24 classrooms somewhere. It would be 12 at Torrenford, 8 at Forbes, and 4 somewhere else or something. So that was just a thought that we
How
wanted to
many
throw out there.
classrooms are in Southeast?
There are 6 present, and that's another proposal that we're bringing forward and showing, there's 6 with a office area that's a small 7. And then we're possibly changing the gymnasium into a couple more classrooms, putting an office there, so we'll have actually 9 classrooms at Southeast under the new kind of proposal that we're looking at. So that would be under the 14-15 year, which would be next year in your capital. We're jumping over to Southeast School. And what I'm going to do is pass out another. Do I give them all to you? Yeah. Okay, now, there's 2 sides to that. The large print sides that you'll get first, that'll be the gymnasium, kind of modification that we threw out there. And then on the back side is just the standard print of what Southeast looks like presently. Joe, if you want to set it up there, we can kind of show you a little bit. This is Southeast.
It's on page 58.
Page 58, it's almost towards the rear of that catalog there.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
So if you're looking at your plan,
It's just a partial plan.
this area here is right here.
On this plan, the purple areas are the existing classrooms. We turned, what was an office into a smaller classroom. So that's our 7 existing spaces. And then 2 additional in the gym.
There would be no gym, you're eliminating gym.
You're gonna eliminate the gym. But you're gonna, your pre-K and your kindergarten, they're gonna either be playing in your playground area there, or they're gonna be in their rooms on carpet, rugs. One of the things that we've been working on, trying to develop some type of a plan on how we're going to attack this. We're going to do this in 3 separate phases, because we're not going to renovate the school as new. We're going to try to get our maximum reimbursement rate back from the state. In order to do that, we're going to have to look at it as 3 separate projects. First project being the roof project. And the second project would be our code updates. And the third project would be alterations. So trying to get the biggest bang back from the state as possible. Joe, if you want to just
Right,
kind of run down some of that.
Sure. Out of those 3 projects, the 2 initial ones, the roof and the code, can be applied for at any time. There's really no time frame on that. So that would allow the district to get going with the project to try to meet a deadline of September or August 2015. Currently, the reimbursement rate is at 74%, This upcoming year is going to drop to 72%. So, you know, you don't know what happens, you know, each year. What we did with the rationale behind the two projects that David mentioned is, you know, to get the most funds that you can from the state. And so with the code project and the alteration project, they sort of get dovetailed. The code projects, certain things, like let's say example, a sink in a classroom would get reimbursed. But a countertop, if you had a whole countertop in the classroom, that would not be reimbursed. Under an alteration project, you would get the entire sink, countertop, cabinetry reimbursed. So there's, that's why the rationale is divided into, you know, these three separate projects. The reimbursement right now, as I mentioned, is approximately 72–74%. But that is not out of the entire project. That has to be reduced based on items that the state will find not eligible for reimbursement. And that's something that is typical in every project. So you try to take a percentage out of that, out of your total cost, and then the reimbursement to come up with your own budget. Later on, as you get audited with the state, what you try to do is, you do this ahead of time, you try to keep a rationale as to why you had to do a certain code item, why you had to alter a room and get reimbursed for the entire room. So that's why, if you look at the reimbursement that David had on his capital plan, it's not a strict, take a dollar amount and then a strict 72% of that value.
And I just want to add, the governor announced today that he's committing $10 million a year for the next 10 years for early childhood education facilities and educators. His priority are alliance districts and priority districts, but when I called the State Department, they said that we could probably have a good chance of being in there too, because we have all the characteristics of an alliance district, but performing too well. So I called the head of CAPS today, and I said if I send an email to the commissioner again, he said send it to him too, and he'll get back to me. So it's a project for next week. That'll be $100 million over the next 10 years.
And that last sheet that we just passed out, there's more of a, you'll see more of the breakdown of what's southeast.
Similar to what we had last week, but with a couple of additional items that we discussed, like the playscape as add alternates. Fire protection, we kept that in the budget. Casework, that's the cabinetry, that would be in the classroom, and a playscape. That's how we came up with the $4,338,828.
And the additional gymnasium work is also added.
That's in the base part of the estimate.
We're also looking at grants. We've done 2 letters of intent for 2 grants that could run, as they say, 6 figures. So, it could be as low as 100,000. Could be, who knows what the highest part would be. And we've also, if the city would want to join with us, there's federal block grants available that are available, for something like this.
Okay.
Can you talk about the, is it 110 million that you said that the governor's committee?
100 million over the next 10 years.
The next 10 years. Is that 100% reimbursement for these construction projects, or is it just going to continue to fund the
No, it's like the technology grant we received.
So it's 100% coverage.
What we're hearing too is, talking with the State Department, our reimbursement rates may be dropping down from 74 where we are now. It's going to drop 2 points possibly next year, and possibly 2 points the year after that. So,
Right, so with the alteration, part of the project, the deadline is usually June 30th, but the superintendent most likely, request an extension for that deadline. This way, that paperwork can be applied probably, maybe September or October, and still fall within the cycle for funding by June of 2015. So typically, when you make an application for a state grant by June 30th, you don't hear, just like we did with the solar project, you won't hear until the following year.
But with the early childhood funding.
With that funding,
That'll go in, I think, what did they say? End of May, and they'll let us know by July. Your guess is as good as mine, but that's, they turn the technology grants around really fast this year.
Is that through Office of Early Childhood?
Yes. And he announced it during the week of early childhood.
Cheryl, is any of this predicated on this being a school for early childhood education? Because I thought the purpose of this was to move those various programs, which are non-instructional.
No, we need more room for our early childhood special ed programs. Both of our early childhood programs, such as Head Start and Torrington Child Care Center, are looking for more space. We would also have our Family Resource Center, our Even Start program,
And all of those programs, with the early childhood programs that you're moving in there, wouldn't change that reimbursement rate?
no.
shouldn't, because we're registering this as a school.
It will be used, there'll be adult ed, they're looking for space for adult ed at night. Family Resource runs at night classes. Our Community Literacy Center, that's now in Forbes, runs night adult programs, so.
It's still listed as an educational facility. When it was turned over to the town, there was never a change of use when the daycare was in there. It's an advantage.
Yep.
And I think, and the e-school project also is going to play into this by being able to put those, now they're gonna have, is it gonna be 4 sections or 3 sections of kindergarten at the?
Full day K, Sue, Eddie's, 3 or 4.
3, so
and
we're gonna have
three
three full
preschool,
sections
special
plus
ed
preschool
programs.
to go
So,
in there,
6.
and make sure we have room for that.
And that would not happen until and unless referendum approves the school renovation.
Exactly.
But in the meantime, this is going forward so that you can accommodate the all-day kindergarten. Yeah, whatever you need the city to partner with you on. And I'm also wondering, if you need additional letters regarding the Alliance District for priority,
Okay.
certainly would be happy with that.
Let me see where I get Monday with the executive director of CAPS and his speaking with the commissioner.
Okay.
Sorry, obviously I've been gone for a couple of weeks on getting back into the fray here. This must have been a very hot topic of debate. Obviously, it looks as how we're going forward with the renovation of Southeast School to turn it into an all-day kindergarten center.
No,
Is
no, no.
No, it's.
Full day kindergarten will happen in their neighborhood schools.
Okay, so this is.
But in order to do that, we are pushing out programs that are in our neighborhood schools that serve as district-wide programs,
Okay.
dealing with.
So this is more of a specialty location.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes.
Looking through this information, I didn't, and again, I'm speaking only from looking at this for the first time this evening. Where are the numbers for connecting this up to the network? Because this was not part of the original grant for the Wi-Fi system. I looked very quickly through the capital portion. I didn't see anything for Southeast School. in capital for technology, so obviously we need to run, fiber tech needs to run here, we need the phone system set up, we need servers to run the buildings.
There's,
We
We
you know,
did put that stuff.
Within the budget,
there's a whole communications component.
The section that was given out last week.
Okay, so there is a dollar figure in this for that.
in the project
So-
itself. you're talking.
Correct, the 4,338,000 does include all of that.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe we carried,
It was
190, yeah, it was on 16, right? 1,600? $193,500 allowance
Okay,
for those communications.
so that'll cover fiber tech running the new fiber lines in, rewiring the building.
Yes.
Okay. Also, are you planning to go through to relamp the building like we've done at the middle school, like we did at Forbes, with the energy efficient? I didn't see any of that in the capital.
Only the
So-
lighting that has not been touched. Okay,
So when you redid Forbes for the roof, we relamped the building.
Yes.
We put in the LEDs outside, we did the energy reductions.
Right.
Are you doing that with this project as
We
well?
did not propose that because the ceilings and lighting had been done approximately, I think it was like 10 years ago. And we just didn't put it in, I'll be very honest with you.
Okay, well, long-term,
We weren't gonna be
obviously-
touching the ceilings and stuff, so that's why.
Except for one classroom.
Right.
that
Yep.
wasn't.
Long
I
term.
was just curious, because, I
Yeah.
mean, that's an ongoing cost year over year.
Mhm.
So if we're gonna do this, I'd rather see us do it, but long-term, it costs us the least amount of
Yeah.
money to run the building.
Okay.
So, okay, that was it. Thank you.
Anyone else? I guess that's it. You have more handouts?
Just, the only thing I had left there was, I ran the old limited scope project for East School that we had discussed last week. And there was some discussion on whether or not it was 8 million or a $2.5 million project for the limited scope. And it actually was the 2.5 million. The 8 million was for the high school. So I just ran the old, these are the old 2010, 2011 numbers, just to give you an idea where we're at with East School, and some of the repairs that are gonna be needed to be done as we pile them up, so. Right. Yes.
Got it already.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm reading right. On page 3, the booklet you handed out.
3 of the capital? Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm reading right. Is that top portion, is that saying after all is said and done, it's going to cost the city about $13 million,
That is correct.
not 41?
Right. The 41,213 is the whole project combined, after we take out our reimbursables,
Right.
these,
But after reimbursements and all that.
yep,
it's
after
gonna cost the
reimbursements,
city
right.
about 13
Yep,
million?
it's 70%, we figured 70% probably by that time,
Okay.
and then 35% on the office space. Okay.
And since that's a renovated new, your reimbursement rate is a little more, able to calculate that more accurately.
That's it. Great,
Okay,
we're done.
I think we're good.
Good, thank you.
Now, the rest, well,
Oh, I'll wait for the rest.
no, now we'll go down through the rest of them, but I think Joe's off.
I just got one more question.
Yeah.
What are you proposing you do with the kindergartners? Are they gonna be project managers over there at East School?
We're gonna bring it to Southeast.
Oh, okay.
That's why the additional cost
Okay,
at the
thank you.
southeast. We're trying to look at we could get a permanent, more permanent spaces. And it was an added increase to Southeast, but at the same time, we wouldn't have to pay for
So,
as many portables.
so the kindergartners at East School would go to Southeast School until East School is, okay.
And if we came to first,
Yes?
Is the balance of this exactly the same as what we've already approved from the back?
No.
It's hopeful.
You can only be,
It's hopeful.
well, if we look at the high school, well, Vogel Wetmore is the same as we've seen before. That's the boilers and lights, right?
Right.
I just hit it, I'm trying to get out. Vogel is on page 9. It's pipe installation and repair of 55,000, and it's 500,000 for boiler, control pumps, etc.
Yeah, and included in that is the lighting.
I'm sorry?
Including in that is the lighting also.
Oh,
That's the same.
that's the same.
Okay.
The high school, is 17. We were at 616,146.
The same.
And that's,
but we already
right, but
reduced.
we're gonna reduce the musical instrument and athletic field improvements by 34,000.
Right.
So that number on the front page will drop from 616,146 to 582,146. Now, David,
Yeah,
athletic fields.
yeah, that would be on page 34.
The construction on page 34 of 270,000 was for the softball field, correct?
That's correct.
Which has been pointed out to us by another committee that they got a price of approximately 88,000 to renovate that.
Yeah.
We should be able to realize about 170,000 out of that.
Yes. Based on, that was based on the turf.
This price was not knowing the impact of the turf field on our fields until we got a final set of specifications of what ADA compliance issues may come up, what. So now having seen the plans for that, there isn't gonna be that impact. So the softball field's gonna be about 100,000, a little under, but.
Does that include that tile pipe we were worried about?
Tile pipe is part of the turf field. That was in here in case we needed it.
We don't know whether or not we're going to.
That's actually being lined as part of that project.
Yeah.
So,
In fact, they were out there today with cameras.
right, they're gonna do a structural lining of that pipe prior to doing the turf field. So, would we like to reduce that by 170,000?
Why are you reducing it? Is that again?
We had budgeted money in there not knowing how the
Right.
turf field project was going to impact us.
Right.
We have an estimate on the softball field of somewhere around 90,000. So to cover some soft costs, my recommendation is we take 170,000 out of here, leaving 100, so we've got the cost of the field in case there's any small overruns, we'd be covered. Would everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
And we'll cut that to 100,000.
100 or 170?
We're going to take 170 out.
Got it.
We're going to
Yep.
leave 100 in. So that makes the number on the front page 412,146. It's Sound right? All I hear is crickets.
411,540, is that what you said?
No, it wasn't what I said.
You got, because you gotta add the 34,606 for the instruments too.
Oh, I didn't have the 606, I was told 34,000.
606.
Oh, well, that'll make it.
34,606 is taken out.
That's 606. So what did you have?
411,540.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry.
34,606. Okay. All right, Midgeon Avenue?
Wait, we're still on the high school, right?
Yep.
I would like to either argue with the mayor or
We won't let you argue.
get
Well,
the board
she's here, go
to, I'd like to get some money allocated to fixing the road between the parking lot and the park. I've advocated this for 4 years since you've been on the board, that, we talked about wanting to have a high-performing school district. This is our flagship school. That road needs to be reclaimed and repaved. I believe the city should do that on their budget side, but if they're not willing to do it, we just can't keep that. It's just disgraceful that as you drive by the school, you see the road, and then if you actually want to come to the school, you have to drive on that road. You have any numbers, or will the mayor be willing to let us avoid this issue and fix that road properly so as to make this school?
Let me just be clear, you're talking about the road from Kennedy Drive, Winthrop
Yes.
It's
to the front?
It's the driveway up
It's
to
the
the little
driveway at the
theater.
school?
That's
Oh.
actually, it's the entrance from Winthrop to Little School Drive.
Okay,
That's actually on Parks Department property.
okay.
This was brought up with Ryan. There was argument over who's responsible for the driveway.
And I disagree with,
But we can't widen it without approval from the city because it's your property. We can't, they plow it, right?
No,
They don't plow it?
we plow it.
we
I thought
plow
they
from
plowed up
Winthrop.
into the-
We plow it, and
They do the
we plow we don't plow the parking lot near the skateboard park,
Right.
but we do plow the driveway and everything that's connected to it around the
From
school.
Winthrop.
From Winthrop Street, yeah.
Well, that being said, it's either we either put the money into our capital, or we work some arrangement with the city that they'd be willing to do that as part of their yearly road reclamation projects.
It's the first I'm hearing of this. I
This
can
would have
only
been
tell
nice to know
you.
earlier than tonight.
Yeah, I understand that.
Well, I mean, Dave's not gonna be able to come up with numbers, and we have to finalize a budget tonight. I mean, this capital budget has been in our possession
I
for a month and a
understand.
half.
Well, I mean, I've only talked about it like for 4 years, every year.
But this got voted on in January, and you
Well,
didn't
let's
say
not go
anything.
there, let's not go
I mean, I'm
about how
just-
we voted on that back in
I'm just-
December there, Chris. I'm just bringing it to the mayor's attention, I have an opportunity. That road needs to be done, it needs to be done sooner than later. So,
Can I just make an observation?
Yeah.
On page 33,
okay,
I believe we have redesigned the main driveway entrance and overlay the access road at
33.
$128,000.
Yeah.
All we'll do is encourage kids to drive faster.
And that's on the following year. You see that?
Driveway access, and this is for what year?
It's for 15-16, actually.
15-16.
Okay.
All right, it is, it's on everybody's radar. It's just trying to fit it into different years is our difficulty.
Wait another year.
No,
Do you want to make a motion to move forward?
no, this is strictly.
No, I mean, as long as it gets
The
done
ADA stuff
at
is
some
different.
point.
That's here.
I'm just saying, you can, if you want to make a motion, we're going to vote on this in about,
Yeah, I would like to make the motion to do it this, put it on this year, move that 120 into this year's budget. I mean,
we have a second for that motion? Second, any discussion on it?
Well, I would think if we've already cut $400,000 out of capital, we saved 170 on the field. It's gonna cost 128 to take care of that mess out front. I mean, it's a wash.
All those in favor of moving the $128,000 in capital for the driveway repairs from 15-16 to 14-15? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Opposed? Abstentions? I had to ask, it was already 5 votes. All right. I'm running out of lines here. So the 411,540, we're adding 128,000. So that becomes 539,540. Okay. Pigeon Avenue, are we done with high school? I think we actually have to seek donations for that. Be part of the fundraiser.
Absolutely.
There you go, you're talking.
Now you're thinking.
If we get our own names on it, you know?